Hey friends, it's yet another week on the Game Audio Vlog. We're on episode number 31. Today I'm going to walk you through doing some enemy hit noises to supplement the enemy explosions that I talked about, I think it was a couple weeks ago, just to continue our series on doing a full sound design in a 2D game. In this case, it's a space shooter called Into the Space. I'm going to walk you through it real quick. If you go open up your Wwise project, and then I have an enemy hit sound right here that is built off of a single wave, which was a pre-made sound. I'm pretty sure that I just took some impacts and then did a pretty heavy low-pass filter on it. So it sounds like this. Cool. So that's what it sounds like, to give you an idea of what I was thinking, just like a light, low just punch, to show like a giant impact or anything like that, but just to give the player an indication of something got hit. So there is again a pitch shift here if you double click with a min and max randomization and pitch shift. I don't think I've got any effects on this. Nope, no effects. So it's again fairly simple. It's what we've been doing since like the very first effect that we did. You make a play event, which is right here, enemy hit, and you don't need a stop event because this is a one-shot sound, and then you generate your sound bank. Let's hit the key. Nope, for some reason this still isn't really loading correctly. Let me see if I can fix that and actually show you what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go. So if you click the core, then again, if you've forgotten or haven't seen me do this once, you just want to click and drag your sound into the sound bank down here. And then I'm not going to do that because it's already in the sound bank. And then you'd want to hit generate. And then you would hit save, which I don't ever hit the file save button. I just hit Control S. And that's all it is in Wwise. So we'll jump back over to the screenshots and show you the rest of the implementation, which isn't really directly in Unity. It's all in code. Cool, so since you've done this quite a bit before, if you've been following this series, I'm not going to just click through and show you all the screenshots step by step of what to do. If you don't know already, go to your prefabs folder, find one of your prefab ships, and then go into the script. On the right hand side in the inspector, just double click on the script. Then you'll find this, the onTrigger enter 2D, collider 2D, other function, right? Or in this situation, it's onTrigger enter 2D is your actual function name. So you're looking for the section here that says if other dot tag equals player laser, and then within that if health is greater than 0. You're looking for that if statement, and you want to type in aksoundengine.post event, and then you call it whatever you called your event. In this case, mine is enemy hit, and then you put in game object at the very end, just like we've been doing. So it's not a universal call; it is a specific game object call, and then your colon and that, or semicolon, excuse me. And then that's it. So you'll want to do that for each of the enemies, for the blue enemy, the green enemy, and the red enemy. And we've already done this too on the asteroid, so you should have some asteroid hits before the asteroid explodes, and you should have some ship hits before the ship explodes, no matter what ship it is, because they don't explode on their very first hit. So if you hit it once or twice, it's going to sound kind of dumb before you actually have the ship blow up. So at this point, you should have a pretty full sound design without music, if I recall correctly. I'm going to go through my list and see if there's anything else I missed, but you should have a player engine with some basic RTPC on it and some EQ. You should have some ship engines with a ship RTPC, so it sounds like they're shooting down the screen. You could have already gone ahead and done panning on each one of those ships, and if you've done the panning on the ships, you can go ahead and do the panning on the lasers because it's the exact same thing. You should be having a ship count of each one of your ships, so you should know how many red ships you have on screen, how many green ships you have on screen, how many blue ships you have on screen. You should have all of the laser sounds for each of your ships, including your player ship. You should have explosion noises for your asteroid and for each one of your ships, and that's pretty much it. If you want some background ambience or something, you can do that, but I would suggest that's kind of overdoing it at this point. But I'm going to go in depth on the panning and the RTPC stuff a little bit more, just to show you like how the distortion effect works in my game for the player ship. But at this point, you should have the vast majority of that stuff done if you haven't already. And then we're going to move into the final touches, which is music. The music was put together in a little bit of an interesting way. Nothing that's like super mind-blowing, but it took me a little bit to get it where I wanted it in a slightly more than just straightforward basic format. So again, if you've got any questions, hit me up on Twitter at Adam T. Croft or comment below. I hope that this shows you that a lot of the integration of some stuff in Unity, once you get past the first few hurdles, getting sounds in is actually really freaking easy, and there's a lot of ways to do it. And kudos to the guys at Audio Kinetic, kudos to the guys at Unity for making all of this fairly straightforward and simple, which then lets us do more fun things with real-time parameter controls and switches and states and all of that sort of fun stuff to add some life to the game, which is pretty cool. So, but I'd forgotten to cover this before when we did the enemy explosions, so I wanted to make sure that I did not miss the enemy hit sounds. And that's pretty much it. So I will be back tomorrow. I believe I'm talking about music, but don't quote me on that. I'm going to look through my stuff, and then we'll figure it out. Thanks for watching. We're going to be wrapping up this set very shortly with music and all of that, and then I'll show you again what mine look like in the beginning and what mine look like in the end for this game. And then once we're done with this Wwise walkthrough, I'm going to have some interesting announcements and be moving on to some other stuff. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow.